The house that opened its own doors. I used to think people exaggerated when they talked about old houses making noises. Wood settles, pipes shift, raccoons get into walls. That's what I told myself when I took the night security job last winter. A friend recommended me for it. Easy money, he said. Just walk around a big property outside of town, make sure no one breaks in, and stay awake until 6 in the morning. The house belonged to a retired professor who moved to Arizona years ago. His family kept the place mostly furnished but empty, no renters, no guests. They only hired someone to check on it so the insurance company wouldn't complain. I didn't mind. I like quiet jobs. I like the feeling of being the only person awake in a sleeping building. The house sat at the end of a long gravel driveway, half surrounded by woods, 2 stories, wide porch, a windowed attic with an old circular vent. I've been told the attic was sealed off after a fire 20 years ago. They never rebuilt it completely, just reinforced the structure and nailed the door shut. I never questioned it. Every house has a story like that. My first shift was normal, just walking room to room, flicking on lights, checking locks. As long as I kept my headphones out and stayed alert, it was fine. But on the 4th night, something changed. I was in the kitchen pouring coffee from my thermos when I heard footsteps above me. Not movement, not scratching. Actual footsteps, slow, paced, heavy enough that the ceiling light flickered. I froze and listened again. Another step, another. The attic. I looked toward the stairs and felt a strange cold hit the center of my chest. Not fear. Something closer to a warning. The kind you get when your body reacts faster than your brain does. I called the property manager, thinking maybe someone from the family had flown into town without telling me. She didn't answer. I checked the driveway, empty. Then the footsteps stopped. I waited 5 minutes before climbing the stairs to the 2nd floor. My hands shook the whole time. Something I told myself was just lack of sleep. But when I reached the hallway, every door was cracked open, not wide, just a perfect identical angle, maybe 30 degrees. All 5 of them. Bedrooms that I had left fully shut during my walk earlier. Something in that symmetry scared me more than the footsteps. I opened one bedroom door, wider. Nothing inside. Just a made bed, dust on the dresser, a rocking chair by the window. I checked the next room. Same thing. No sign of anyone hiding or sneaking around. By the time I checked the last door, my breathing was slow and controlled, like I was talking myself through it. Nothing out of place except the fact that everything was out of place. I closed all the doors, returned downstairs, made a note about it, and forced myself to continue the shift. The next night, the same thing happened. Footsteps over my head, slow and deliberate, the same weight to them, the same rhythm. When I walked upstairs, the doors were cracked open again. The night after that, something new happened. Around 3 a.m., the house got colder. The kind of cold that doesn't belong indoors. My breath fogged faintly in my flashlight beam. The footsteps started earlier than usual, pacing across the attic floor. Then something else. Whispering, not words. More like a breath dragged over wood. A soft, dragging exhale that rose and fell. I stood at the bottom of the stairs, listening so hard my ears rang. And for the first time, I considered walking out and never coming back. But I stayed. I needed the money, and part of me didn't want to believe what I was hearing. If I labeled it as imagination, I could keep going. So that's what I did. On the 6th night, I made a choice. I would check the attic door. I knew it was sealed. I'd seen the nails myself, but I needed to see it again to prove the noise wasn't coming from there. At 3:40 a.m., I walked upstairs. The hallway was freezing, colder than the rest of the house. My flashlight flickered when I reached the top step. And yes, every door was cracked open again. Exactly the same as before. But something else had changed. There were footprints on the dusty floor between the doors. Not barefoot, not shoe prints. Stocking feet, soft edges, small, human, leading from one room to another. And they weren't mine. I followed the prints to the end of the hallway where the attic door stood. The nails were still in place, but something had shifted. A tiny gap had formed between the door frame and the wood, just enough to show darkness behind it. Just enough to suggest movement could come through if it wanted to. I leaned closer, holding my breath. Something breathed back. I stumbled away so fast I nearly fell down the stairs. For the rest of the shift, I sat in the living room with every light on, waiting for dawn. But the worst part didn't happen inside the house. It happened when I got home. When I pulled off my jacket, I realized something was in the pocket. A piece of old wood, splintered, with a nail still stuck through it. The same kind used to seal the attic door. I didn't go back for 2 days. I told the manager I was sick. She didn't argue. Most people quit night shifts within a few weeks anyway. On the third night, guilt and curiosity dragged me back. It was still a job, still money, and part of me needed to know if the house would act the same way again or if everything had been in my head. The moment I stepped inside, I knew it hadn't. The air felt different, thicker, like humidity without water. My footsteps echoed slightly, even on carpet. I checked the rooms. All doors were closed, a good sign, or so I thought. At 2:15 a.m., the footsteps returned, but this time they didn't pace. They approached, step by slow step, moving across the attic floor directly above the stairs, then stopping right over me. I backed away, gripping my flashlight. The house stayed silent for a full minute. Then something tapped, once, twice, 3 times. On the inside of the attic door, the nails creaked. I whispered out loud like an idiot, "Who's up there?" A soft sound answered, fabric shifting, as if someone turned around. I didn't go upstairs, not this time. I stayed on the first floor, heart pounding, listening as the tapping returned at irregular moments. Sometimes faint, sometimes harder. At 4:02 a.m., the house went silent again. Then every door upstairs slammed shut at the same moment. The shockwave rattled the windows. I nearly ran out the front door. Instead, I forced myself up the stairs with shaking legs. When I reached the hallway, I stopped. Something had been written in the dust on the floor. Just one word: open. I looked at the attic door. The nails were sliding slowly out of the wood, one by one, as if being pushed from the other side. I didn't wait to see what happened next. I ran, not just out of the house, off the property, down the gravel driveway to my car. I didn't look back once. When the sun rose, I finally had the courage to return with the property manager. She walked through the house with me, room by room. Everything looked normal, clean, warm, peaceful. Even the attic door looked untouched, nails perfectly in place, dust undisturbed. She gave me a confused look and asked if I needed time off. I quit on the spot, but the story doesn't end there. For the past 3 nights, around the same hour, something strange has been happening in my apartment. I'll wake up to a faint sound near my bedroom door, a soft creak, like old wood under gentle pressure. And when I open my eyes, the door's always cracked open the same way the upstairs doors were in that house. Exactly 30 degrees. Exactly the same every night. And 2 nights ago, when I walked past the closet, I noticed a trail of faint footprints in the dust on the floor. Stocking feet, small, human. And last night, when I touched the closet door, something tapped back. Once, twice, 3 times. As if the house hadn't let me leave at all.